Hey, soap fans! Welcome back to Weekly Soap Chronicles, your one-stop shop for all the drama, secrets, and OMG moments from Fairmont Crest. This week on Beyond the Gates, Leslie's bombshells rock the Dupree and Richardson families to their core. We're diving deep into Nicole's explosive confrontation with Ted, Eva's desperate attempts to make amends, and that shocking cliffhanger that has us all on the edge of our seats. If you're obsessed with Beyond the Gates, you're in the right place. Let's get started. The week kicks off with the Dupree and Richardson families reeling from Leslie's bombshell revelations at Ted and Nicole's anniversary party. Nicole is completely livid and devastated. She confronts Ted, demanding to know how he could betray her with Leslie all those years ago, especially while she was struggling with miscarriages. Ted tries to plead his case, but Nicole is not having it. She tells him he's a liar and that she doesn't know who he is anymore. She wants the man that swept her off her feet when they met in Hawaii. She throws him out, telling him if she even smells his cologne in the house again, it'll be the last thing he does. Meanwhile, at the Dupree mansion, Leslie faces the wrath of Anita, Vernon, Danny, and Martin. Martin calls Leslie a vile human being with a gaping hole in her heart. Leslie calls him Little Brownie Man in a condescending tone. Leslie hands over Eva's birth certificate and a DNA test, proving Eva is Ted's daughter. Leslie pleads with them to forget about what she has done that evening and to treat Eva with kindness, because she is part of the family. Anita, Mama Dupree, is not impressed. She accuses Leslie of using Eva as a pawn for her own selfish agenda. What was her end game? To get Ted and secure a respectable place for herself. She let Leslie know in no uncertain terms that the Duprees will never forget this act of war. Elsewhere, Kat and Eva have a brutal showdown. Kat says that Eva could have stopped all of this from happening and calls Eva a curbside delivery daughter, toxic parasite, and says she's dead to her. Eva, heartbroken, tries to explain that she never meant to hurt anyone, but Kat isn't buying it. She gives Kat a copy of the DNA results proving that Ted is her father. She tells Kat, don't let the events of the night ruin her relationship with Ted, because it is precious beyond words. Eva collapses in tears, realizing just how much damage Leslie's schemes have caused. The episode ends with Mama Dupree giving us her rendition of Amazing Grace. Kat goes to console her mother, Nicole. Ted is checked into the hotel, knowing that he has truly messed up. Eva returns to the apartment, only to find that Leslie has put the security chain on the door, so she couldn't get in. Why did Leslie do that? I thought this whole plan was all about Eva. Wow, what an explosive episode. Due to the UEFA soccer tournament, Beyond the Gates was preempted on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. The show returns Thursday with Nicole still numb from the betrayal. She confides in her sister Danny, saying she feels like her world has stopped. The pain of Ted's affair is almost too much to bear. Danny tells her that even though Ted had an affair, he still loves Nicole and that he couldn't fake that love for 20 years. Ted confronts Bill and wants to know why after all these years, he didn't tell him that he had a child. Bill claims he had no idea that Leslie kept the baby, but he did threaten her and her unborn child to make sure she went away and never came back. Eva is in Nicole's home office gathering her things, and Nicole walks in and asks, "What the hell are you doing here?" Eva is guilt-stricken and desperate to make amends, especially to Nicole, who's always been kind to her. In a shocking twist, Ted shows up at Leslie's apartment and professes his love for her, and they kiss. Leslie can't believe this is happening, and she is elated. Then Ted drops a bomb on her and says, "Do you really think that I would want you after that stunt you pulled?" He calls her sick, twisted, and a monster, and that's when Leslie wakes up. It was all a dream, to quote the notorious B.I.G. If you know, you know. Later, Eva goes back to the apartment with her belongings, and this time, Leslie lets her in. Leslie doesn't feel sorry for her because she feels that Eva betrayed her. She tells her that she gave birth to her and raised her, and how could she put that lying, cheating man ahead of her? A man who hasn't even thought about her since the day she was born. Eva strikes back and says that Ted didn't care because he didn't know that she existed, because Leslie lied and told him she had an abortion. Eva realizes that Ted isn't the villain, but Leslie is the real villain. Leslie brings out a suitcase with Eva's belongings and tells her that she is putting her out. She can't live with someone that she doesn't trust. Eva leaves crushed. Can you say, "Mommy dearest"? Eva, feeling lost and rejected by her mother, shows up at Ted's hotel room and asks for his forgiveness and hope that they can mean something to each other someday. Ted says now that he knows the truth about Eva, he will never abandon his daughter again, and offers to get her a room for the night and is willing to find her an apartment if she wants to stay in Fairmont Crest. But to not take this as a sign of forgiveness, just a man trying to right all his wrongs. The week wraps up with the Duprees trying to mend their fractured family. Still reeling from the revelations at the anniversary party, Nicole seeks comfort from Vernon and Anita. Danny confronts Bill about him keeping Ted's secret from the family and threatening a pregnant woman. Bill admits that he did it and doesn't have to explain himself to the Duprees, or anyone else for that matter. He tells her that if she has a problem with it, to take it up with her parents, Anita and Vernon. Danny tells him to stay out of her family business. Bill says, "I thought that was obvious when I left you. Don't let the door hit you." Oh, that was cold. Meanwhile, Martin is upset that the family kept Ted's whereabouts a secret from him. He feels like they are treating him like a child. Well, Martin, right now you are acting like a child. He is so angry at Ted for using him when he was a child, so that Ted could have an affair with Leslie. He takes his frustrations out on Smitty, who helped the family keep the news from him. Later, he confronts Ted and expresses his disappointment in him. Andre checks in on his Uncle Ted at the hotel and asks how things are going since the event. Ted was glad to see him, considering that everyone else is staying away. Andre tries to lift Ted's spirit by telling him to stay strong and keep the faith that he and Nicole will eventually get back together. Later, Andre checks in on Nicole and lets it slip that he already knew about the affair. Oops. Of course, that didn't sit well with Nicole. Tomas asks to join Eva at the restaurant to talk. Keep in mind that Kat had previously told Tomas to stay away from Eva because she is not to be trusted. Guess who walks in and finds Tomas and Eva holding hands? Kat. Friday's episode ends with Leslie coming over to visit Nicole. What does Leslie have to say to Nicole that she needs to hear? I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's your Weekly Soap Chronicles recap for Beyond the Gates, May 5th to May 9th, 2025. If you love this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more soapy drama every week. Let me know in the comments, whose side are you on? Team Nicole, Team Ted, or Team Eva? See you next time, soap fans.